はい、皆さん、こんばんは。ジャパニーズルストリームをご覧の皆様、いかがお過ごしでしょうか。はい、続いてのタイトルが、Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire、カテゴリーはスーパー 100% です。はい、こちらのゲーム、私は全く知りません。はい。もし何か知っていることがあれば、解説来ていただける、あるいはコメント等で解説していただけると助かります。はい。そうですね、こちらのタイトルが、イベントのタイトルがね、Questing for Glory なので、なんか元ネタになってるのかな、ちょっと私はわからないですけども、はい、どういうゲームなのかはちょっと楽しみですが。Quest for Glory 自体はなんか調べてたら、MS-DOS らしいんですよ。あ、来ましたね。はい。
Hello, questing for glory. It's fitting that we should come right after the
た
Dragon
だ、
Ball Z run, because you see, we're not dealing with the
これは
average
何でやってるの
100%
かはちょっ
run
とわからない
anymore.
です。別のハードでも出てるみ
Welcome
た
to
いな
Quest for
話は
Glory
どっか
2.
で
Joining
書
me
いてあ
on
った気がするんで
commentary,
すけど、
I've got Kara Valencia and Mr. P.R. Miller. Introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Cara Valencia or Cara Valench. I'm a glitchless speedrunner for this game, and I host races for the game as well.
Questing for
I'm
Glory
Miller.
8。
I occasionally used to run in the past. I mean, who knows how much I know about this game anymore, but because everything has changed so much. But I've run pretty much every game that there is in the series.
Sure. So really quick, we're going to be starting off as a fighter. You want at least 5 in magic. Your remaining 35 points. You might be tempted to do weapon use. Don't do it. It's a trap. Either stick them into strength for extra damage on your swings, or stick them into magic for additional flame dart. And I prefer to do it for
Windows
the flame dart. So we're going to go
98とか
ahead
でも
and
でき
start
るのか
in
な。
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Explain
はい、グッ
100%
ドラック
real
です。
quick.
All right, well, normal 100% run is where you play through the game and do everything.
100%、100% ってことは何かの収集要素
Normally in a 100% run, we
実
want
績
to
か
get
なを
500
100% にするのかな。
In the super 100% run, we are going to get more than that, as many more as we can.
Yeah.
There's not just 500 points too. There's actually 550 because we usually require the paladin points and a full 100%. But David's run here is going to go a little bit differently because super is not the same as normal.
It
ゲーム
sure
500 は
isn't.
スコアっぽい。
We're going to be beating the game with 668
で
points.
28オブ
If you can
500。
believe that.
そ
And
う
it's going to happen
なの
in a
か。
very unusual manner. Really quick, there's a trick in SCI called turning isn't walking. Normally, scripts will stop you from walking and then allow you to do the script, but turning isn't walking. If you press a direction, you'll turn and then you walk. And if you're in the middle of turning, then the scripts won't stop you. So that allows you to run off screen when you're doing some of these tricks, like, say, casting Flame Dart at these bellows, which is normally an instant game over. I missed.
That was cute.
Which happens sometimes. Yeah, it's night 1, and normally burning this is an instant game
ん
over, but if
こ
you
れ
run
は
off
なんだ消え
screen
た
at the same time as you burn
何をやっ
it,
てる
then
んだ
it's
ろう。
not a game over. Time has warped to night 9, which is really important for
あ、今
elemental
の
threat
得点
state
稼ぐために
manipulation.
何か
Miller,
調べ
can
て
you
たんだ。
explain elemental threat state?
というわけ
Sure.
で、
Part
右
of
上の
the
ね
gimmick of this game is that you're supposed to go up against the
数字
collection of
を見れ
elements
ば
that are
進捗
represented,
率
of
が
course,
分かると
well, fire,
思いま
earth,
す。
water,
今
and
48。
air. It's fire, earth, or I'm sorry, fire, air, earth, and water.
で、
in
目的
order
は
of
何な
this
んだ
game.
ろう。ちょっと調べて
The
みます
fire
か。
elemental attacks on day 8, the air elemental on day, I'm sorry, fire elemental on day 5, air on day 8, earth on day 12, and water on 14. But the way the game keeps track of it is through something that's a integer in the we
星
call
を
a
救
threat
う
level.
英雄になるお話。
The game will check whether or not you're on an even. If you are on an even number, like a threat level 1 on the day 7, if you haven't handled the fire elemental, you die. If you are on day 11 and your threat level's 3, you will you will
自
game
分で
over.
振る
You
の
will
かな
die.
パラメー
If
タ
you
とかは。
save the city, it increments it by 1. But what David has done is completely short-circuited by jumping right to day 9. His threat counter was 0, and then it went immediately to day 9. So he skipped, and the game is very confused as to how to handle that.
Yeah, so what happened was that
腕
when
相
I
撲
slept to day 12, elemental threat state increased
あ
to
急に腕相撲
1.
始まった
So
け
the
ど。
fire elemental is wandering the plaza on day 13, even though it shouldn't be
顔
doing that at this time. Oh, by
勝っ
the
たんだ。
way, daggers are 5 dinars apiece, but I'm going to do a little special here where I'm going to buy 525 of them for only 4 dinars. You know, great deal. Get in on that while you can. That's going to be important for stuff.
おー、
later.
なんだ
But
なんだ。
elemental threat state is important because on day 14, if there's not an elemental attacking the city, it's going to increase again. But on night 13, it will destroy the city. So I'm going to use the map to skip past the point at which the elemental would destroy the city. Now it's day 14, but elemental threat state is still 1. I'm going to go ahead and capture it. So that elemental threat state will now be 2.
ウォーター、
This
なん
is
かエレメントっ
important
て言っ
because
て
I'm
る
going
か
to
ら。
be visiting the Eternal Order of Fighters later, and I need elemental threat
Oh.
state to be even for that. Otherwise, the elemental will destroy the city. So that's a bit of a manipulation there.
なんだろう、ここ、
Just
月みたい。
capture the elemental so that it's even, but also map past the
こ
point
の
where
作
it
品5
increases
作品出
because
て
it
る
will not
の
increase
か
at
な。
any
クエスト
subsequent
4
point
グロー
past
リー自
this
体
point.
は、
Oh, my difficulty's on normal. That's why this is taking so long.
Our first goal right now is to get all of the fighter exclusive points that we can, which involves fighting
そうね、
one
5
of
作
every
品
kind
出
of
てます
enemy,
ね。
and then visiting the Eternal Order of Fighters later.
And to add a little bit to this, it's a little, it might be a little confusing to hear of all the integers and internal data that's going on. The nuts and bolts of it is, we are here to save this city from a wizard that is in another city, and we are going to handle all those problems, but not in an order that the game expects. We are glitching this like crazy. If you haven't realized that yet, this is not the normal way this game is played.
Yeah, in fact,
And
normally
by the
the
way, I
caravan.
apologize for the crazy part.
Yeah, the caravan normally leaves for the city on like day 17 or so, but sleeping at the oasis is going to bypass that, so we're never going to trigger the caravan cutscene. Yeah, brigands only show up during the day, and I'm thinking, I believe I'm going to do daytime for the scorpion as well. Yeah, just kind of a little bit of a manipulation. When you enter the desert, it starts a timer and counts down until the monster appears, but only once the timer hits 0 does it determine which monster it will throw at you. And it's picking from an array with 6 values in it. The scorpion has 2 entries during the day, but only 1 at night. So even though during the day the timer is twice as long, we have double the chance of getting a scorpion. Do I take this? Yes, I'll take this because Pterosaurus is always 1 in 6. And one of the reasons that I'm choosing to use magic in battle is because my hit chance is not very good. I'll do another daytime encounter here rather than wait for one at Museum. Basically, yeah, your weapon accuracy is a weighted average of various stats, but the way the battle is coded, when you do an attack, your accuracy drops and increases over time as you wait until the next attack. But normally we're spamming the attacks, so we usually always have the minimum hit chance of 20. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the 1 in 3 chance. There it is. I'll take a poison cure pill just for safety, because the scorpion is the most dangerous monster we can hit out here.
シャピアっていう砂漠の街が舞台となっているから砂漠の風景が多くて、この街ではエレメントルっていう魔法の4大要素があって脅かされてるから、それらを倒しているっていうストーリーっぽい。
When we go home on day 27 or later, we're going to end up at Razir. And can y'all explain the desert ROM warp?
That's a good
あ、そう、
question.
なんか、ファイヤー打ってるときは MP 減って、
So,
剣
sort of.
何かしらスキル
Every,
使ってるときは
every
SP が減
screen
って
in the
すぐ。
desert is in code just one screen.
なんかめっちゃ浮いてない？
And it has
これ
an
これは
internal
仕様です
value
か？
that needs to figure out where you are in the desert. There's two places in the desert intentionally where if you leave to the north,
あの、
you'll end up back in one of the
右側の
screens.
オブジェクトも浮い
If
て
you
るけ
leave
ど
to the north anyways, on other screens,
Oh.
you may end up somewhere else.
Yeah, basically, Razir is located at 8700, but going 60 screens to the left and glitching upward twice puts me at minus 360, which wrong whips me to. Okay.
フルト3号機の
Not
ファウンド。
good.
Yeah, I didn't go far enough, and I think what happened was that I did not allow that second cast open to go far enough. Luckily, I remember that I went 40 screens to the left for this.
Yeah, to be clear, what's happening is whenever David goes north of the screen, the game is a little confused about where he is, so it tries to load a script integer for the room, because all the rooms are effectively a script inside the game.
There we go.
And yes,
Oh.
and whenever he goes further
うまくいっ
north,
たっぽいです
it
ね。
just so happens
なんだ
that
ろ
some of
う。
these
遠いところにワープしたのか。
line
ワー
up,
プという
in fact,
か
a。 lot of them do line up in the
飛んだのか。
deserts with other places. So he's using
こ
the
れ
desert
22難易度
to
とか変更できるんですかね？ さっきからノーマルとかハーディストとかなんか切り替えてる場面が多いので。
like the desert. Like normally you can't go further north, and the game just gets very confused
だから
about
奥
where
行
he
きあるの
is.
す
So
ごい
it
な。
says, okay, let's just load the script for this room.
そうっぽいですね。
And,
グリッチミスしてたっ
you
ぽ
can
いさっ
warp
きの。
anywhere, and that's the beauty of what this run does. He can
あ
warp
そこ
to
は
the
は
character's left screen.
138。
He can warp to bedtime. He can
I
warp
wasn't gonna
to
spoil
the
it.
end, literally the you've beaten the game screen. It's a credits warp, and it can be done immediately, and it can also be used for ridiculous effect.
Yeah, so following up, I slept at the inn at the Blue Parrot Inn to set the end state for 4, which is going to be important for the Blackbird quest later. But now I'm going out into the desert, 25 screens to the right. I'm going to wrong warp to room 275, which is the Eternal Order of Fighters, and he's going to flop over like a rock because a monster was following me, and so his stamina initialized to 0. And he fell over.
お、なんかいっぱい
But
人
you
来て
don't
ました
say
ね。
yes or no at that timer. You wait out the timer
一応このでも
because
時
saying
間の概念もあ
yes
るから
sets the flag for you can't become a
朝と
paladin.
夜の描
But
写もある
saying
のかな。
no gets you the paladin
そう、めちゃく
points,
ちゃ雰囲
and
気
you're
いい。
actually trying to avoid getting any paladin points until later. I've gotten all the fighter exclusive points now, and I know this is good because 150 is what I expect to be at after Rakish.
あー、また飛んでる。キャストオープンするとそうなるんだ。
To add to it, this is again not the common way the game is played. If this run seems, I mean, first of all, I mean, yes, in a Sierra game you would expect to be able to run up in the sky for some reason. The more common thing, if I want to encourage anybody who wants to try this game, there are categories for everything. David is probably, I believe, the only person currently who would understand this route fully. He asked for commentators, and we all kind of flinched because nobody knows exactly what he's doing.
Anyways,
Not
we went back to the
completely.
main menu, and we are now a thief. And we still have the 150 points from being a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it's time to do the thief exclusive stuff that we can do.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that will come up. We bypassed the restart script, so a whole bunch of things did not get restarted. In particular, most of the point flags, several other flags. Some of the stuff that did get reset, though, are the elemental threat state, the day, our inventory. And in particular, elemental threat state is again going to need to be
なんか
manipulated.
デイビッドって名
So,
前で。
like pop quiz, what is elemental
なん
threat
かキャラクリして
states?
ま
Like
したよ
say
ね。
now, day 5.
でも上のスコアは150のままだから、
Normally it's
ニューってわけじゃないのか。
Okay.
Should be 1, but it's been increased by 1 from 0 in a normal game.
Yeah, and it is 1, that is correct. So on night 6, we're going to have to map past the city, and I'll do a safety save here just because sometimes I don't map enough to skip it. But yeah, elemental threat state will be 1, and so we're going to continue to sleep. Day 8. Elemental threat state is now 2. It's going to increase again on day 12.
これは寝
So on
て
day
起き
12
て
now,
るだけ
elemental threat state is 3. The air elemental is
Welcome,
out.
hello.
But I need elemental threat state to be
Hero
5.
か
So what am I going to do? Well, let's burn down the bellows again because it's currently night 12.
A double miss. Wow.
You expect a lot of misses with this because your accuracy is determined by your magic stat, and my magic stat is 5. Like it's
そ
doing
れ
a
を壊し
skill
ながら移
roll.
動したい
Yeah,
の
expect
かな
this a lot. It's one of the reasons I prefer the fighter to do 40 magic. There we go. We burned it.
Wow.
It's night 9 once again. However, we're going to sleep to the next night, night 10, and elemental threat state is still 3,
これで寝
which
てる
is
のか
normal for this point in the game. So we're going to have to map past the point at which the elemental destroys the city.
We should probably also explain those bellows a little bit more. What David does when he destroys the bellows, he destroys the only way that the game expects you to be able to defeat the air elemental. So the game automatically ends your game. You game over. But by doing the room transition, he skips over the death animation. So the game sets him to day 9, which is whenever the air elemental normally kills you. So it sets his day, but it doesn't actually kill him. And we weren't expecting, the game wasn't expecting that. So the bellows are right back where they belong.
I forgot to visit the money changer. Which,
Oh.
don't worry, I can fix that. That's, here, you know what? We'll go ahead and do this little tightrope walking puzzle. I'm just passing time until mid-morning because that's when the money changer opens. Yeah, it's very easy to forget to do things when you're doing this run because there's so much to remember. But like visiting the money changer is something you want to do specifically as a thief. There we go. It's mid-morning. She'll be open now.
Finding
Was
her
the
is
game's cop.
Yeah, I
Go
was
ahead.
going to say the same thing. Finding her is this game's copy protection because it doesn't give you the actual map in game until you visited her.
Usually.
And, got your money. We used a glitch earlier to sell
お
non-existent
金の話してん
beards
のかな
to
金
the
銀がマネ
magic
とか
shop
ガッ
in
トマネとか
town
言ってるし。
and bought a map that way.
Okay. We're back on track. Now I have the money to actually buy this magic rope, which is
Buy rope.
125 dinars. Very expensive. Like, you don't normally
お
even get
ロー
that
プを
much changing your
ゲッ
money
トしたけ
with
ど
the money
何に
changer.
使うんでしょうね。
But elemental threat state is 5, and that's important because Harik
Buy
will
rope oil.
only give the thief the powder of burning
パウダー。
if elemental threat state is 5. So that's the reason that I've done that. Let's see. I've got the powder, I've got the oil. I think I go out into the desert, which, fun thing, there was a little bit earlier where, as the fighter, I parked my Saurus out in the desert and I went back to him later. You can't do that as the thief because the game is actually checking to see whether you have a Saurus in your inventory, and I don't have a Saurus in my inventory anymore. Alright, having done those things for the thief, I'm going to sleep until, let's see, day 27, but then I'm going to
ここで3日
rest
4日過ごしてるってこ
until
と
it is sunset.
サンセットだから。
I still don't have a visa for actually getting into Razir, so I'm going to have to wrong warp, and this one's going to be 110 screens to the left to
なん
room
かなんかのフラグ立てたんかな
and I got to count
何
my
もわからん
head,
けど
so.。
同じ会話してたのかな
Rather than collect these items the normal way, David is doing these
あ、やばい。なんか、
desert skips because
いつものかって感じで見せたけど、これ当たり前じゃないんだよね。多分。
This game is on a timer, and if you can't tell, we're saying day 9, day 7, day 5. Because it's on a day-by-day timer, being able to manipulate which day you're on is really, really key. But certain things will also happen just by being in the right room. So David knows exactly where he needs to go in the desert to go north to glitch himself out of the map in order to get to these rooms that he wouldn't normally be able to on these days. And it's
Yeah.
always impressive to watch.
If you're doing this round glitchless, it's once you get to Rasir, you then have to wait about 5 to 10 minutes to be able to do anything, and then you have to
Ooh,
wait.
bad on the
another
encounter
4
there.
minutes.
That means I got to wait like 7 seconds to know I went far enough. encounters on screen really slow things down. But if I shift 7 screens to the left, then I know I got it, and I got it. I'm in Kavin's room.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's whoa, I got a pass on a check there. There's 5 stealth checks in this room, which you can do. And actually, given that I passed,
ちょっと効果音
one of
小さ
them,
め
I
ですけ
think
ど、
I'll take the
いい
one
な、
on
この
the
効
way
果音。
back. I normally drop
Get
the
the bottle.
bird to skip this one, but since every cast of the calm spell gives you a free pass on another stealth check and makes it so that you don't have to wait. So that's pretty good to have. Earlier, as the fighter, I slept at the inn here, setting the end state to 4. That's because Ferrari will only give you the Blackbird quest if the end state is past 4. So sleeping here as a fighter set up the conditions to do the Blackbird quest as a thief, so that I only need 1 trip to Razir. So I can just get the quest, turn in the bird, and then leave and be on my way. So I'm gonna wrong warp back to Shapir once again, and this time the room I'm wrong warping to is room 300, which happens to be right on the other side of this wall. So I'm gonna shift 7 to the right, and then 7 to the left. Actually, you know what? Let's do 4 to the right and then 7 to the left, because that's gonna let me show off just something I could do. I don't know if I waited long enough. Yeah, okay, this is room 303 where the fire elemental chases you into the city, which is just funny. I could capture the fire elemental without the incense by doing that.
いや、グラフィックス
Okay,
いいな
but I will set time to evening. I can't leave the city through the gate plaza unless if I'm past.
Don't forget to steal from.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I completely forgot.
I knew you were gonna forget.
Thank you so much. I forget to do this often. For whatever reason, this robbery does not set the can't be paladin flag. The other one does, but this one doesn't.
いいんですか、勝手に取って。勝手に鍵開けて、勝手
We're
に
gonna do that.
隠してる
and then we're gonna
道具取っちゃ
burn
った
the
けど、いいのかな
bellows. Yeah, you wait.
We're a righteous thief, but he's just a jerk, so it counts.
Yeah. Anyways, you do need the anvil for that robbery, because if you oil the anvil, then it's 60
さっきの
strength
エレメン
to
タル
push
どこ
it.
行ったんだろう
Otherwise, it's 120. And yeah, night is now day 9, which means we can go out of the city normally. We've done all the thief-specific stuff, so let's leave the city.
We like to travel at night also. Things move a little faster, and also you don't take as much damage from the heat of the sun. This game's any percent on tasks used to be something like 8 minutes, just under 9 minutes. Now it is about 30 seconds thanks to the discovery of this. I mean, you want to talk about completely shattering the world. I mean, the record. I mean, like John Q. Public was able to suddenly come in and get an instant world record the moment this was discovered.
And I kind of did.
Yeah, you did.
And then Kane took it. All right,
Which is typical.
we're back at the title screen, and I'm going to go ahead and
お、
make
ま
a
た新しい。
subset of cast
あ、
open my
新し
name
くない
now.
のか、これ別に。
The stats don't really matter for the wizard. Like the
普通
wizard
にパラメー
starts
タ
with
振って
enough
ただけなの
stats
かな。
to do
なんか
whatever they want. But for safety, you might
継
throw
承して
some
た気が
stuff
する。
into
他のパラメー
magic
タ。
or vitality or throwing to make certain segments of the game easier. We're gonna go back here, and we're going to buy the levitate and force bolt spells.
バイフライボルト
I。just realized what you did by naming yourself Cass.
魔法買ったのかな
that is part
わ
of
かんないけど。もう飛べるんじゃないのこの
that is
グリ
such
ッチ
a
使えば。
He's going to have to say his name at some point to announce who he is, but then he's going to use his name to partially type in the word cast, which is part of the count. This is really nice. I just love that.
Yeah. Anyways,
時間経過させてるのか
elemental
な
state, back to zero. It's one once again, and the fire elemental is roaming
スコア
around.
も
Now,
200
I've
超
already
え
gotten
ま
points
した
for
ね。
capturing the fire elemental, so I'm not gonna bother doing it again.
which means we won't have a lamp.
Which means we do not have a lamp, which... Oh, that worked.
Not
It's
as
intended to be a game over whenever
not as important as it seems.
Yeah, Okay, but the funny thing is, I'm gonna go out during day 7, and it's gonna turn out that the beggar is just, right there while the fire elemental is.
It's his family job. Somebody's got to do it.
I did forget to fetch the bellows at night, but I can just run in here and say, "Hey, give me your bellows," and then run right back out.
Nice.
And then points for getting the day 7 reward here. And then this is going to be our 1 break during the run. We got to wait through Omar's entire speech here. Okay, so, yeah, let me just talk about paladin points really quick, because there are some hidden paladin points throughout the game. You do certain tasks to get them. Like, for example, giving money to the beggar twice will get you paladin points. Returning Omar's purse will get you paladin points. Every puzzle point has a flag associated with it, where once you get it, then you can't get that puzzle point again. And that's especially important for paladin points, because paladin points are one of the few things that are reset on a new character screen. So don't get any paladin points until you're the last character. But also, the reason the wizard is last is because the wizard's paladin points are initialized to 12 rather than 0. The reason for this is that 12 of the paladin points are assumed to be unreachable by the wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, my use of the word assumed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing with all the glitching going on that this game doesn't just burst into flames and be a real trial by fire. It is the fact that it manages to hold itself together in ways like the beggar being out with the fire elemental, or the city not suddenly burning to the ground. It's really a masterpiece of jank architecture, and we love it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm running into this bug a lot. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we're going to sleep until day 13. Elemental threat state is going to increase to 3. And so we're going to go out and capture the air elemental now that we have the bellows.
なんか新しい
Additional
の来
throwing
ましたね。
makes that throw easier,
Use
but you
bellows.
can do without it.
ベローってなん
Now
だ
elemental threat state is 4 since I captured the air elemental, but the earth elemental will appear on day 13 if elemental threat state is below 6. So I don't need it to be 5, I just need it to be below 6. So I'll be wandering the streets and looking for it. But there's something important that's going to come up, which is that when I capture the earth elemental threat state will then be 5.
一瞬で
And it's expected to be 6
倒し
once
ちゃい
you
ましたけど
capture
ね
it.
倒したって言ってる
So
のかわかんないけど
elemental threat state is 5, but I bought 2 cloth bags, so I'm gonna drop the bag, capture the earth elemental again. Now
なんかデカブツも倒しましたね
I love that works. Simply amazing.
A little bit easier than fighting him again and capturing him again that way.
Yeah.
Well-
I bought 2 cloth bags for that exact purpose. But that's also important because you can't progress Julinar's subquest until elemental threat state is 6, which is interesting. You can do part of it,
Water.
but you can't progress
Mat.
through all this stuff until
お
like it's actually checking elemental threat state. It's not just going oh, you've got the earth elemental mud, you're good.
Let me also just comment that something that's been
何か
unsung
ゲットしましたね
Dave, this is a parser game where you have to type in your stuff. The fact that David can keep the entire map of where he needs
お
to go
スコアも
exactly
300超えてましたね
and how,
いつの間にか
with all the parser numbers
Get the
and all
feather.
the threat levels
Honey.
and stuff is nothing short of this parser work that he does where he sometimes
木の-
uses the right
木の実的なやつと
word,
羽をゲット
sometimes
して
uses it to replace the last noun that's used. All of that is just
おこれが
optimization that is not common
水のエレメン
some
ト
of the fastest speed runs
あ
that are
倒
out
した
there. It's very easy to just fall back into just what's the thing I'm looking for rather than optimizing the text in the right place. So this is a easy entry level RPG to speed run, but a really difficult one to master.
And yes, we just beat the water elemental and left the bag
Oh,
of the water elemental.
こんなとこに
there. That
扉
doesn't
が
matter.
Oh yeah, nice.
That's fine.
It doesn't. It's true.
Yeah. You get points for capturing the water elemental, but you don't get points for actually... Wrong spell. You don't get points for actually picking up the bag, and picking up the bag doesn't actually matter, so we don't. We just leave the bag on the floor. But we pick up Omar's purse, which is there because that's the second time we've been
なんだこのおっ
left
さ
out
ん
on screen. Alright, really quick, Wizards Institute of Technology is going to go
わからん
fairly。
展開が気づいても何もわからん。
normal. You don't want to do this on night 16. It might be natural to do this on night 16, but the end of the Wizards Institute of Technology is going to drain all your stamina, and the caravan cutscene does not restore your stamina.
これは6人の
And so,
あ、待て
doing the post-caravan cutscene with stamina at
何
zero
か
is
しら敵が召
not
喚
the
される
greatest
から
thing in the world.
それに応
So
じて
that's
魔
why
法
I'm
とか
doing it
使っ
with
て
on
進んでい
this
く感じか
night
な
rather than some other night, like tomorrow night.
あ、修行なのか
But yeah, it's a fairly standard puzzle,
Oh.
except that the iceberg, you might be tempted to force bolt the iceberg 3 times. Don't force bolt it once and then cast
おお、
the
すごい
spell.
そうなるんだお、そこは400いった
Also saves magic points that way.
Right. Then we've got Aziza skip coming up. So we've marked Aziza's location on the map here. Let me safety save before the night, just in case I mess it up. But Aziza, you are normally supposed to visit on 2 separate days, day 16 and then some other day to ask about Julinar. There's a specific... I'm getting the typing wrong. There's a specific thing we're going to do here. We're going to map across the city to pass time. So it's very close to the day 17 rollover. We should see 7 tick up twice. There. Yeah, we entered on day 16.
ここも新しい
Pressing
とこで
escape
す
like this is
か
going
ね
to pass
あれ来た
time until it rolls over to day 17. Yeah, that should be it. Yep, it rolled over to day 17. So now we can progress with the rest of this and ask her about Julinar. So we got the points for the day 16 cutscene, but it didn't actually play out the day 16 cutscene because we rolled it over at the correct time. And also, since it's now day 17, we go outside. And caravan cutscene starts.
I feel like I say this all the time. I have no idea how you guys found that. Like,
まさかドラゴンボールの後にこの作品を置いたのはそういう意図があった
Santa discovery.
good old Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
お
Yeah,
The community really came together to discover so many of these skips over time.
yeah. Watch out for Santa Claus. If Santa Claus runs your game, then
全部私がやっ
you're
た
not gonna have record anymore. I mean, you can fight him, but you're only delaying the inevitable.
He is a legend. So fast.
Anyways, one thing I will point out is that this caravan cutscene can only be done once. If you do it a second time, then the game's gonna lock up the next time you get to the Vizier Gate Plaza. And also that cutscene gives you the visa and the spare change of clothes, which you'll need for
何だったんだろう今の寄った意味あったのかななんかフラグ立てたんか
As is
な
my friend, and I'm gonna go 25 screens to the right,
で
which
ま
is
た
going
高
to
速移
be
動
to
し
the
て
Eternal Order of Fighters.
終わった
But David, you're a wizard.
いやーこれあれですねマップ結構広いからマッピングしないとダメですね
Normally, the Eternal Order of Fighters
And
is
we-
fighter exclusive, but by warping, we can warp into it. So,
もうオアシスの場所忘れましたもん
But
We did.
like you said before, we didn't give them an answer that would have given us paladin points.
おなんかうわまがまがしいうわなんか色使いが独特ですね
This
敵の
this particular skip is not always easy to do. Okay, there we go. But did we get it? Okay, no.
Yes, you
This
did.
time I say no. Now, saying no to this specifically gets you the paladin points for refusing to kill him. Just not saying anything doesn't do that. Really quick, I'll do some things that I've forgotten to do in Vizier since I was in Shapir since I was last here. I think the Kata pin, they will only give it to you at elemental threat state 8, and 8 specifically. So if for some reason elemental threat state ends up above that, like say 9 or so, then I think they won't give it to you.
to be clear, threat level 8 means that all 4 elementals have been defeated. And the game is not going to pass over to 9 ever in a normal circumstance, unless outside of a glitch.
Yeah, I said at the Eternal Order of Fighters that elemental threat state needed to be even. That wasn't quite true. It needed to be 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, or anything above 8. Because it only destroys the city at threat levels 1, 3, 5, 7. I did not need to go back into the city. What I needed to do was ride my Saurus. That point total
あ、
actually
ス
looks
コアも
good, so I think we're on
476まで
track.
行ってますね。
And also be
さすが
clear about
に
the threat level. We actually didn't
この
realize
ゲー
that
ム
it
スピード
could
普
do
通じゃ
anything
な
more
い
than
と
8
思うんだけど。
until more glitches were discovered. We found out that it could be.
Basically, the Earth Elemental pickup in the bag thing. And I'm going to sleep again until day 27, but actually, I'm going to sleep until nighttime of day 29.
5本。
Yeah. And then I have a lot of counting to do because I got to go 130 screens to the left to wrong warp to room 430. And I count in my head here, which is why I go silent.
綺麗な空だな。
So while David's counting, what he's doing is he's going to use night 29 as a benchmark. He's going to actually skip past a lot of the any percent or glitchless. I mean, there's an unskippable wait time that you have in the city of Razir that was the bane of this run and really made it unappealing for speedrunners. I mean, imagine an auto scroller where your job is to literally just stand still and wait, and you can only do so much. In fact, one of the worst things that you could do is wait, because now if you go in and out of the door, you do it at a right
結構長いこと移動するね。
setup, then you might be able to speed it ahead.
あ、降りてきた。
It just made it miserable.
Yeah. Either you do a rhythm that makes it go faster, or you did it wrong and it made it go slower on accident.
Yeah,
Yep.
but we're 130 screens to the west. Here we are at Zaish's room. So,
It's a lot faster.
yeah.
Oh my
But
gosh, that is so fast.
But yeah, we came in here on night 29. Well, once we go out the
え、
door,
全
it
く同
says
じ
time
格
to
好してる。
mid-afternoon. And since it is daytime during day 29, we can enter this and leave immediately and get thrown into the dungeon for endgame. So yeah, we are now locked into endgame.
あ、捕まっちゃった。
Some of the best skips are also.
Yeah, there's some really good
あ、今
stuff
回。
here. I
魔
should
法ってす
probably
ごいん
save
だ
the save
な
for。this part. It's possible to soft lock yourself
お、
fetching
500になりましたね。
whatever. So it's important
何
to
何
know
何
that I'm
何
now going into the
何
Forbidden City, and
スー
I'm
パーサイヤ人
going
になる。
to use the
使っ
mirror.
た。
But in the first screen, you're expected to use your lamp to light the way, but I
な
don't
ん
have
もわ
a
からん
lamp.
ね。
Well,
お、また
they
新しいとこ来
locked
ましたね。これは
keyboard
なんだ
movement so that you can't move around in the darkness, but they forgot to lock mouse movement. So what's gonna
わ、す
happen
げえ。
is that I'm gonna throw my mouse off here. Click here, boom, I move screens, my lamp is lit for some reason, and I'm on this upper ledge, so I can get points for casting
ここ
open
の
on that
洞
rock
窟
formation. But we're not done yet because we're gonna come here. Turning isn't walking. Thanks to that, the lava is
の奥
floored.
に何かいるのか。
That used
Absolutely.
Yeah, that used to be one of the hardest rooms in the game, and now it's
ああ。
thanks to turning isn't walking. We bypass it no problem.
Oh,
Health is going to
こ
be
れは、
a little bit
あ
of
あ、
a
取ら
concern
れ
going into
た。
end game.
やばいやばい、
Just
出
because
口
there's
塞が
some
れた。
unavoidable damage, and you might have barely enough health, and I have 45 health, so I actually have more than enough. The fastest methods are going to take off 40 health from you.
559 ま
So
でいっ
as
てる。
long as you have 41 or more, you're good.
お、で、
If
戻って
you're
きました
at
ね。
less
リ
than
リミット
40
的なや
but
つか
over
な。
20, there's a safety thing you can do. But if you're under 20, you're dead.
Notice David's points are well above the 500 maximum that is expected.
Yep. And yeah, levitating up the pillar is one of the fastest ways.
なんか
Normally,
左側にあっ
most of
た
our
青
runs,
色
we
の
use a rope
うごめ
that
い
we
てやつ
don't
気になる
have
けど
to。climb up the pillar. But yeah, having over 40 health means that you're gonna be healthy enough to survive this hop off the ledge
Hop.
and take the hit from the statue. Oh, time time is going to be coming up pretty soon. I'm going to have to fight and then escape this statue.
お、こ
and
れは
then
さっき
cast
お
the
宝を
first
盗んだものじゃ
bolt.
ないか。はい。
Now we can
GG。
your paladin points showed up, but yeah, that's his last input.
GG?
This that whole
タイマー止ま
section, that whole
止まりました
I
ね。
think it was right before Questing for Glory. I want to say it was Questing for Glory 2 that we discovered some glitches.
何だったんだろう。
Made some of the hardest areas trivial, and now we don't even go on those
たっ
screens.
た1個のコマンドで
Some
倒しちゃいましたけど。
savings is just completely trivial at that point. It's
The
like, we were
place
so
was
excited
sorted.
for some of these skips, and they're just gone. Just not even used anymore.
ああ。いや、でも、そうか。この時代のゲーム、だから全部コマンドか。一応、ウィキ曰く、シリーズとしては5作まで出てて、これが90年に発売された、違う。あ、いやか、90年に発売されたの。で、5で98年に発売されたのが最後。そこから36年前のゲームをこうやって見られるのはなかなかいい機会だったのかもしれない。ぜひね、MS-DOS 持ってる方がいればやってみましょう。
Room 822.
Yeah, I like how you're a wizard, but the fighters speak for you because you warped into their
そうです
secret
ね。
order to
確か
save
に。
this guy.
So here's what I'm wondering. Does he speak for me if I didn't say
逆に
anything?
なんでこれまで知らなかったんだろうって感ある私が。
No, that's a good question.
It's probably a specific flag that you set for saying no.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably the Paladin puzzle point flag. Alright, we gotta wait through Aziza, and then once we're through Aziza, we can speed through the rest. But yeah, the one thing we're really looking for, since I know the 591 point total is good, that we saw toward the end of the Out of East room, I know that point total is good. The one thing we're really waiting for is Paladin Hood, because they're trying... You want to verify that you got all the Paladin points, and normally it would be 50 Paladin points, but since I wrong warped to EOF, it's actually going to be 57. Plus 20 points for this ending ceremony. Alright, there we go. We're in 822 now. Now we can speed through this dialogue.
For some reason.
You know, I didn't even realize that they were different rooms. I didn't realize that was why. I just knew that you could in some and couldn't in others.
Yeah, I don't know what's causing it. But yeah, to become a paladin, you must get enough paladin points, you must have honor above 75, you must not have done any disqualifying acts. And yeah, it's not enough that we've become a paladin, we must make sure we got all 57 paladin points. So after this, we should see at the top of the screen
今の回
668
そう、なんか、
points.
おまくになのか
Give
な
it a bit.
検索しても出てこないですよね。
There it is, 668.
There we go.
That's the
Oh.
highest point total we've ever been able to do in this game. Thank you so much.
With the maximum
I've
possible
been
score.
David. This has been Quest for Glory.
あ、
Thank you so much for
550 以
having
上
me.
で
Let's go ahead and
100%
take it away and move on to the next run.
マキシマムポシボースコ
I'm into that.
Going
ア。で、
fast.
600超えてるけど。はい、というわけで、以上で終わったようですね。クエスト4グローリー2 Trial by Fire スーパー 100% でございました。はい。なんか、多分すごいことをしていたと思います。はい。というわけで、イベントの名前にもなっております、Questing for Glory 8、まだまだ続きます。続いてのゲームの準備してまいりますので、一旦失礼いたします。